Superintendent Whiston, thank you so much for coming and joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
First of all, you haven't been in that chair as superintendent that long. How's the ride been so far?
Well, it's been interesting. Obviously, you mentioned DPS, the Detroit Public Schools. We've had the issues in Flint, Benton Harbor. And we've gone through a process of trying to become a top 10 performing state. We know we're not getting the results we want. We have a lot of great teachers and a lot of great schools who are performing well.
Not ready to pack your bags and run off yet.
No, we got too much work to do.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about your priorities.
Yep.
What do you want to accomplish as superintendent of Michigan schools?
Number one, make us a top 10 performing state. We're performing in the bottom third of states, so we want to change what's happening in our classrooms. We want deeper thinking. We want problem solving. We want being able to work in teams, being able to work individually, be able to write, be able to do math. So we need to change our focus to deeper learning in the classroom, change our assessment system to line up to high expectations, but also line up to what we want our students to be successful at, which is to be problem solvers, is to write, is to be able to do math. So let's deeper thinking in the classroom. Let's have students take ownership of their learning. And then let's have an accountability and assessment system that reduces the amount of testing overall, but has the students held to high standards, aligned to what we know will make them successful, whether they choose to go into business or other elements in life or higher education.
When you go out and you talk to the teachers, those who are responsible for educating our students, what concerns are you hearing from them?
I think, the supports that they need, that a lot of students are struggling and they need extra support, whether that means social workers or that means wraparound services from mental health services, that there's a lot of teachers who need support in the classroom in terms of technology, the textbook support, and quite frankly, our starting wages for teachers in some areas is down to $28,000 to $30,000. Why are you going to graduate, become a teacher, have a debt of $25,000 to $50,000?
Do you see that changing anytime soon? Because we're always talking about we want the best and the brightest educating our children, but it seems in many respects we aren't willing to pay for the best and the brightest. These are the same people who could go into the private sector and other jobs, make a whole lot more money, and in some ways might be appreciated more for their educational background and what they're doing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Nothing against truck drivers. Love truck drivers. We need them. But there's an ad in Lansing for truck drivers. They make $66,000 a year delivering food to our McDonald's. And nobody seems to have a problem with that. But they think we pay our teachers too much. Our teachers should be one of the most respected professions, should be treated that way, and it should be compensated that way. If we truly want to become a top 10 state, we have to train our teachers. Yes, hold them accountable to performance, but we need to reward them with a fair wage if we want to be successful. And that's true in Detroit. That's part of the problem in Detroit and Saginaw, Flint, other areas. Teachers, they take jobs there, and then they go somewhere else and make 10 grand more, and Detroit's 200 teachers short. So it is a problem.
Parents, what are you hearing from parents? And if you could give a message to parents who are an integral part of their children's education.
I think parents want choices, and I agree with them. We need to manage choices. That's why having something like a DEC as part of the Detroit package is important. We want parents and students to make choices, but we want to manage those choices so that the overall system is highly effective and can work. So parents, we want 1.5 million choices for kids. We want each child to pick the pathway they want for success, whether that's career and technical education, whether that's getting up to 60 college credits and graduating from high school in 5 years instead of 4 with those college credits. What is it that the student's excited about? What passion do they have? What problem do they want to solve? And how can we help prepare them for doing that problem solving?
What is your hunch in terms of why the House seems to be having difficulty putting the DEC as part of the package, the Detroit Education Commission?
Well, I think, and some people are mistakenly thinking that the DEC is a way to limit choice, and I don't think it is. I think that you could put 3 pro-public school people and 3 pro-charter people on the DEC and tell them they have to get 4 or 5 votes in order to open or close a school. And if you're focused on kids, we can get this done and not be focused on the politics. So I think it's a mistaken thinking of what the DEC is about. The DEC should be about providing choices that are successful. So if a charter school is having success and we need a new school in Detroit, they should be able to bid for it. And if they're getting results in their other schools, they should be able to open a school. So this isn't about closing charter schools. It's about saying to DPS and saying to charter authorizers, we're going to hold you accountable to make sure you're preparing students for success. And if you are, then we want you to be able to expand. But if you're not preparing kids for success, then we need to close you down or reconstitute you.
Final question is a thorny one. Should there be guns in schools?
No, I don't support having guns in schools other than through
There are a
law
whole lot of
enforcement.
people out there who say those schools would be safer if teachers and administrators could carry their gun, a licensed gun.
I understand that statement, and I am pro-Second Amendments. I believe in people having rights to carry guns. I just think schools should be a safe haven, and only law enforcement or private security forces working for the school district should have those weapons.
So you don't believe if a teacher has their weapon, that makes it safer?
No, I don't think it would make it safer. I think accidents would occur, and I just think let's leave it in the hands of professionals.
All right, Brian Whiston, thank you so much for coming in, stopping by.
Appreciate you having
busy
me.
conference. I know they got you lined up to do a zillion interviews, but we appreciate you coming to WXYZ.com.
Great. Have a great day.
Thank you.